Paul. Good Paul. A couple of focal Garrett Lara, a Gumsa or Dus. Kahime Mabuehas a horse to Mavan Kelia, Clat August Machola, or Bishia de Shasu Lumsa, or Mahale August Trial Shaw Bishia Eg Shasu Lum, August Mabuehas Foster, the Richard, the Chris, August Goharaha, the Seamus Collins, the Paul Tweed, to our senior counsel, Tom Hogan, Declan Doyle, the junior counsel, John Kerr and Brian Carroll, and the great team from Johnson's, Carl Rooney, Dara Carney, Hugh O'Hare and Sarah Watson, and Ferhania is far and Aaron. So, I'm very mindful of the Donaldson family in the course of this long trial, and indeed of the victims' families who have had to watch all of this. And I want to say that the Justice Minister, Jim O'Callaghan, should meet the family of Denis Donaldson as quickly as possible, and that there's an onus on both governments and everyone else, and I include myself in this, to try and deal with these legacy issues as best that we can. So I want to thank the court. Tommy Fuir Wake and Courage, or in Brahav, August Tommy Maradurt, Paul, Tommy Hans Sasta, Lesh, and Verdict. From my perspective, taking this case was about putting manners on the British Broadcasting Corporation. I know many, many journalists. I like to think that I get on well with the most of them. And I wish you well, and I would uphold your right to do your job. But the British Broadcasting Corporation upholds the ethos of the British state in Ireland. And in my view, it's out of sync in many, many fronts with the Good Friday Agreement. It hasn't caught on to where we are on this island as part of the process, the continuing process of building peace and justice and harmony, and hopefully in the time ahead, unity. So I don't want to be leaving anyone out. Van Bommetje. And Dúirt Paul Gidibjog Fui, political interference. I'm very mindful that this case could have been settled. The licence payers are going to pay for this. The BBC aren't using their own money. Spotlight aren't using their own money. It's the licence payers, and as Paul Tweed has said, this could have been sorted out a long time ago. But I'm mindful of an unrelated case, again, which I won, and which the Supreme Court in London decided that I and up to 300 or 400 other internees had been unlawfully detained. And the British Prime Minister is refusing to pay. I don't mind, but is refusing to pay compensation to what are now quite elderly former internees. And he has actually said that he will use every conceivable mechanism to prevent compensation being paid. So if you want an explanation why this went on for 9 years and why we spent 5 weeks here, I think there is direct political interference with this. So anyway, thanks for sticking it with us, all of you, and good luck. And
Mr. Adams, can I ask, the court has heard an awful lot about your reputation. It's heard about allegations of your leadership.
We're not answering questions.
It heard about this being allegedly an attempt to launder your reputation. What do you think that this outcome means for your reputation?
Well, I've always been satisfied with my reputation. Obviously, like yourself, we all have flaws in our character, but the jury made the decision. and let's accept the outcome, and let's accept what the jury said. And thank you.
Thank you.
No
more questions. Thank you. No more questions.
OK, that is Gerry Adams there outside the High Court in Dublin, who has won €100,000 in damages over a BBC story about the murder of a British agent. The former Sinn Fein leader alleged that he was defamed by a BBC Northern Ireland programme broadcast back in 2016 and an accompanying online article that an anonymous contributor alleged he had sanctioned the 2006 murder of Denis Donaldson. Mr. Adams had denied any involvement, and as you've seen, after 6 hours and 49 minutes of deliberations at Dublin's High Court, the jury found that Gerry Adams had been defamed, that he has won that libel case and has won €100,000 in damages. We're hoping to hear from our Ireland correspondent, Stephen Murphy, and as soon as he manages to come up, we will talk to him about the ramifications of that court case.